Alright guys, so we're back at the Orlando Regionals. This is round number 1 of day 2. On the left we have Juan Santiago playing Greninja, and on the right we have Alex Hill playing the Vileplume, Regice, Jolteon, Lugia, Jirachi deck. It's going to be pretty crazy, and we're going to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. If Greninja gets his, Pokemon out, Greninja Break is very scary. Alex really can't one-shot it. Now, he does play a Glaceon to get around it, but, I mean, Juan can Giant Water Shuriken, and, I don't know. I don't know. It seems interesting. Juan could maybe knock out the Oddishes, and if Alex isn't set up, I don't know. It's two decks that we really didn't see too much. I think we saw one Greninja and one Vileplume. There's a lot of Dark and Cut. That's some Volcanions, some Mega Guardies. There's two of these. I think there's two of these Vileplume decks. I know Alex Shabansky made one, and I know Alex made one for sure. I'm not sure if Sean Foisey made it or cut with this deck either. But yeah. So we're going to see what's going to happen, guys. Let me know in the stream what's going on, guys. If you like the stream, if it's, good quality, bad quality. I'm excited to see what's going to happen day number 2. Currently trying to find my iPod charger so my phone does not die while commentating. Let's see here. Look, guys, what match do you want to see the most? If you haven't heard the pairings, I'll try to get them later to try to let everybody knows what's in cut, what do we want to see. There is 2 Gyarados in cut. Unfortunately, one of the Gyarados was playing against Volcanion, and that's pretty much an auto win for the Gyarados player. Like, I don't know, you don't even have to get that many Magikarps down. You just start one-shotting the Volcanions. And here we go, guys, round number 1, and it looks like a Lugia start for Alex Hill. Oh, Magarna. Okay, so very much regards to the active, we see an Oddish coming down. Can Alex get that turn 1 Vileplume or not? It's a big question. So we see in both players are going to shuffle the hands deck and get 6 new cards. And imagine Alex, he's trying to look for a forest of giant plants, try to get that Vileplume down ASAP. And I know he does play the Manafi to give the free retreat if there's a Water G attached to it, which is great. I don't think they play Flowstone. I think they opted to cut it out. And now we see one start with the Froakie. And as long as he gets the Frogadier off, get the Water Dupas, he'll be A-okay to go. And see, both players are going to get 6 new cards. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you got the Burst Balloons. Burst Balloons aren't going to matter too much, but Juan needs to put them down ASAP. So that way when Alex gets down his, he gets out the Vileplume, it doesn't really matter anymore. So we see a Dive Ball. Going to maybe get a, I don't know what Juan's playing. I don't know if he's playing Octillery. There's Alex drinking a Red Bull. Sponsor. So another Froakie coming down with the Dive Ball, and I just wonder if Juan's playing like Octillery. I mean, Octillery doesn't matter too much because, like I said, Alex will have the Vileplume out, shutting down items, making it where he cannot play his hand down to the little hand size. So Dive Ball, getting the Froakie. And let's see what else does Juan have here. Does he play Wally? I didn't see one in the sand immediately. I see a Burst Moon in Water Energy. So Water G, Burst Moon go to the active. Now what he could do is go for a Bubble and paralyze it. Now even if Alex does get out the Ninja Boy, it would still be paralyzed, which is a great thing. For one, if he does flip heads on this bubble. And he did Dive Ball for a Frogadier, saying, you know what, I'm ready to go next turn. I'm going to evolve and give him a Water Duplicates. And will he put that energy on the active, go for bubble? Nope, we're just going to pass on to 1. I guess he's going to say, look, if you attack me, you're taking 60 from this Burst Balloon, which is great. And we see Alex, he's digging for that Gloom, going to get it out. And can Alex find a forest of giant plants with the Vileplume this turn? And if he does not, well, Juan will have 1 return to play down his item cards. And right now, Juan has a Water Energy, has a Frogadier. He can start getting those guys out ASAP, and we'll have to see, can Alex find a Ninja Boy into a Glaceon and start using a second attack. I can't remember the name of it, but it's 70 damage, making where evolutions cannot hurt it. And I know that's what Juan does not want to see. I'm not sure how many Glaceons Alex plays. I imagine it is 2. But we see a Water G, a DC going down to the Magearna. Okay, we see a Lysander going to bring with the Froakie. You're actually going to see Magearna take a knockout. I don't know what attack does. It's obviously enough for a knockout. I don't even know that Magearna's attack does. Alright, but we see a Burst One going down to the active. We see a Water Energy. He's got the Frogadier, and we're going to see a Water Duplicate. So Trainer's Mail, look at top cards of his deck, and let's see what can he find. There's a Greninja, Water Energy, Ace Trainer. Now he can grab the Ace Trainer, put Alex down to 3 cards because Alex did take a prize card already. Ace Trainer says if you're down on prize cards, or up on prize cards, I guess if your opponent, I don't know. If your opponent has less prize cards than you, you ace train them. Both players shuffles hands to deck, and your opponent gets 3, you get 6. But will he do that or not? I think right now he's going to go for the water duplicates, just so that way he doesn't, draw into these Frogadiers. So there's the one Frogadier coming out. We see a second Frogadier, and we see a third Frogadier coming down. Okay, guys. So 3 Frogadiers coming down to the field. So all 4 Frogadiers are out, which is great for one. And we'll see, can Alex take a knockout or not this turn? I guess I should see. Metal Colors costs 120. Next turn does 60. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. So I guess right now this Magearna cannot take a knockout. If that's the case, if it's 120, the next turn does 60. So, all right. So see Alex using a Love Ball. I'm not sure what he grabbed. There's an end. Simple players are going to shuffle the hidden deck and get 6 new cards. Alex did know Juan had that Ace Trainer to disrupt Alex. Now the big question: can Juan find multiple Greninjas next turn? If he does, he can start putting those down. Maybe use some Moonlight Slash. Maybe some Shadow Stitching. I imagine you want to use probably Moonlight Slash. Shadow Stitching doesn't really shut down too much in Alex's decks besides the Manaphy and Manaphy and Shaman. So we see both players going to get 6 new cards. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, Juan does play the Sprout Ninja, which is fantastic. If your Frogadier gets knocked out or your Greninja gets knocked out, it goes straight back into your hand, which is great. Now, we see Alex have that Glaceon in his hand. He could put it down, attach a DC to it, and potentially attack with it next turn and put Juan in a very, very bad situation. But if Juan can get that multiple Greninja breaks, he can maybe just knock it out. Oh, man. So here we see Glaceon in Alex's hand. So Glaceon is going to hit that field. I think its second attack is Crystal Ray, if I remember correctly. So 70. Evolutions cannot hurt it. And he has a DC in his hand. So let's see. He's going to Ultra Ball, discard a Jolteon, and I think a Sycamore or a Skylight. I can't really tell what that card is. And there's a Shaman EX coming down. Alex is digging for this Vileplume. Now, the bad thing about putting out Shaman is that's almost like a free 2 prize cards for Juan, because all Juan has to do is double Giant Water Skin with a Greninja Break to take a knockout. Now the Glaceon is going to take at least 3 turns to knock out a Greninja Break. It does 70, and then you got to do 70 again, which is 140, and then you have to hit a Greninja Break for the 3rd time. And if Juan plays those Rough Seas, it's going to make the matchup very difficult for Alex Heal. And okay, so I don't think Alex got the Vileplume right now. I don't see it. I see a Rainbow. I see something else. Oh man, let's see what does Alex do here. Does it go for an attack? And yeah, we're going to see attack for 60, and that burst one will hit the Magearna as well for 60. Okay, so on a Juan's turn, so that's, I mean, obviously that's not good for Alex. So we see a Die Ball, probably going to get a Greninja out, and what Juan could do is put a Splash Greninja on the bench Greninja, or bench Roki, switch it to maybe that Greninja instead and get attack off. Like I said, I don't know if he plays Rough Seas. I see some people play Fade Town, which is really nice to help out against the Mega decks like Mega Mewtwo, at least give you somewhat of an advantage. So let's see, what else does he have here? There's Splash Energy, some Waters, there's an N. I think he might attach a Splash Energy. He's going to attach it to the active. I guess with this way, you could do Moonlight Slash for 80, and you keep the Splash Energy on the field, which is fantastic. So we're going to see an N. Maybe a Lysander. Oh, we could a Lysander, bring up that Gloom, take a knockout, saying, yo, Alex, you're going to have a tough time getting out this Vileplume. All right, let's see. Nope, going to Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 70 cards. He is not going to opt to knock out that Oddish, or Gloom. All right, so here we go. 7 cards going to his hand. There's another Greninja, so he can put that on the bench as well. All right, we see a train as well. Look at top cards of his deck. 1, 2, 3, and okay, there's another Die Ball. He can play that immediately, get another Greninja out, and Juan will have 3 Greninjas coming out this turn. And what Juan could do is put down that Froakie, so somehow this Greninja gets knocked out. All Juan has to do turn back to his hand because of the Splash Energy, and this is not looking good for Alex Heal. He is getting, Juan's getting everything he needs. There's a V-Seeker for Lysander going into his hand. He's put down the Froakie. We see a Moonlight Slash for 80 damage. Alright, guys. Alright, so 12, 13, 14, 15. Next turn, he can knock it out. And this is going to be crazy. Alright, guys, here we go. Gonna draw a card. And we see an Ultra Ball, gun discard. Let's see what he decides. Discards a Jolteon and a Lugia EX. And this turn, Alex will get out this Vileplume. But is it too late or not is a big question. You know, Alex is going to take a knockout this turn. Oh, there's a Shaman coming down, but Alex is going to take a knockout, but Juan's going to have the Greninja return back to his hand thanks of that Splash Energy. And what can happen next turn is Juan can put down the Froakie, revolve the the Frogadier into Greninja, and then Juan could get out 2 Greninja breaks this turn, and that would be the worst thing to happen. So another Glaceon come down, Rainbow Energy going to Glaceon, take that 10 additional damage, and we'll see Shaman come down, going to set up those 5 cards. Now I wonder what Alex is digging for. He can't, I only think he plays 2 Glaceons, so there's no way he can Ninja Boy into another one. He has a Mew in his hand, which is not the greatest to bench. It has a 120 HP. Once again, easily knocked out by Greninja break. And guys, let's see what will Alex do here. He's got a Force in his hand, a Ninja Boy, and looks like he is going to Ninja Boy this turn, a Shaman into something. Let's see, what does he find for that Shaman? There's a Manaphy to give it that free retreat, which is fantastic. So Alex can retreat that Magarna into the Glaceon and use Crystal Ray for 7 damage. It actually knocked out this Greninja because it has 130 HP. Which is the perfect number. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that'll be a knockout on that Greninja. But the Greninja will return back into Juan's hands. So here comes Glaceon. Going to use that Crystal Ray, take a knockout. But once again, Alex does not have a Vileplume out in the field. So they receive knockout. That Pokemon will get turned back in his hand. And here comes Greninja. And guys, we're going to see how this is going to work out. Glaceon versus this Greninja deck. So we see Froakie coming down. We see a Greninja as well. He's got a Water Energy. He's got a Lysander. You could just Water Energy. He's got a Lysander, Water Energy. You could maybe Lysander Gloom to... no, you don't Lysander Gloom. You could Lysander the other Glaceon, smack it for 80. I think what he really needs to do is dig for more... probably for more Greninja breaks. Now, he does have a Sycamore with Super on his hand, which I doubt he wants to discard the Frogadier. Is there Via Seeker in his hand? There is a Via Seeker in his hand. So he can Via Seeker for 6 new cards. Hopefully find a good old Greninja break and start using some giant water sugar and hit those bench cards. So Via Seeker for in, both players are going to shuffle their hands to deck and get 6 new cards. It can find these Greninja breaks. And if he has, like I said, the Rough Seas, I don't know if he plays it or not, but if he does have the Rough Seas, he can constantly hit these Greninjas. Greninja does have free retreat, which is amazing to switch between, and it's going to make Alex have a really bad time. And like I said, Juan cannot attack this Glaceon, so Moonlight Slash will not hurt it, and it's gonna be interesting to see how does this pan out. All right, so both players are gonna get Alex is gonna get 4, Juan's gonna get 6. I see a town map, and can we see what's in those prize cards? How many Greninja breaks are in? There's a water, a fisherman, a faded town, a Greninja break, and a trainer's mail. All right, so we see the fisherman's in the discard pile as well as a Greninja break. All right, so there's a Silent Lab. Not really that useful, but he is going to play it down just to shut down the Manaphy, which is pretty nice. And will we see a retreat into a Greninja? Man, he cannot hurt this Glaceon because of that Crystal Ray attack. And will we see a pass? Yeah, it was probably just a pass. I mean, he could declare an attack, but I mean, he could just Shadow Stitching regardless. Like, you just Shadow Stitching just so you can shut down. Well, do you want to Shadow Stitching? Like, if you Shadow Stitching, you can bump the Manaphy, but then you also bump the Vileplume, I think. Is that how it works? Like, if he evolves in Vileplume? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, because no abilities, yeah, so Vileplume would not work for Alex. So is he is that a Rainbow Energy attached? No, I think Alex is just adjusting his cards. And let's see, what is Alex going to do here? Now, unfortunately, Juan did miss those he missed the Greninja breaks. So we see DC going on Glaceon. We see 70 damage going down to the Greninja, and on a Juan's turn, he's going to draw his card. And now we know that there's a Lysander top deck. He could Lysander that Magarna, take a knockout so he can retreat into a Greninja, attach a Water G, bring up the Magarna, take a knockout, grab that Greninja, and probably the Greninja break and the Fisherman. If that's the 2 cards I see on the far left, that'd be great 2 cards. Let's see, come on, Lysander, bring up the Magarna, take a knockout. No, he's going to play Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 70 cards. I guess he's looking for a Greninja break, but I mean, I'd rather just go for the guaranteed knockout this turn. So he's going to Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 70 cards. There's an Ultra Ball. Going to discard 2 cards, and he can get a Greninja break. Once again, Alex has not got a Vileplume line, so we're going to see Greninja break coming down. He could put that on the bench Greninja, retreat to it, and make Alex forced. I mean, what he could do is he can Giant Water Skin the bench Magarna, because he has the Water G. He could put that Greninja on the active, right? Yeah, Greninja break the active. You Giant Water Skin the Magarna, take a knockout, then you get the Water Energy and the Greninja break. and you start having these two Greninjas. So let's see. We'll see probably Giant Water Skin, via Seeker for a maybe a Wally, maybe a Lysander. So Lysander go into his hand, which is great. Okay. All right, so we're going to see probably a Giant Water Skin on the Megairna, take a knockout, retreat to the Greninja. There's a VS Seeker for a Lysander for next turn, which is great. And let's see that with Giant Water Skin on the Megairna. And there we go, taking a knockout. And I imagine this, we'll see a Water Energy and a Greninja come into his hand. There's Greninja, and let's see that Water Energy so he can start. There we go, so those two cards come into his hand. And what Juan could do is maybe start sniping that Shaman. He could start maybe sniping the active Glaceon and three-shot it, but I think... I mean, either way, yeah, you probably just... What you could do is maybe snipe the bench Glaceon with Greninja Break, retreat next turn, and do it again, like snipe and Lysander take a knockout next turn. So we're going to see a Giant Water Skin on that Manaphy, and we'll see a pass on to Alex's turn. So the Giant Water Skin is in play right now, which is what Alex does not want to see. And it looks like Alex's hand is full of Pokemon right now. I see a Rainbow Energy, which is not very useful. And this is the kind of downside of Alex's deck right now. He has so many baby EXs with low HP on the field. Now we see another Greninja break that top deck, and he has a Lysander. He can just Lysander up that Manaphy, take a knockout by Moonlight Slash 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So Ace Trainer. He's going to Ace Trainer. He cannot play that though. Both players do have 4 cards. Now, like I said, he could just Lysander up that Manaphy and take a knockout. 8, yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That'll be a knockout on the Manaphy. Go down to 2 prize cards, and nope, he's going to play Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. I imagine he's just looking for Water G's, trying to go for the Giant Water Skin play that way instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, he has a Splash Energy, but that's not what he want to see. But what he could do is burst only the Greninja on the far right. Okay, he's gonna put on the active. Like, there's no way Crystal could take a knockout kind of thing. You could Splash Energy and then Giant and then Moonlight Slash to return that Water Energy back into your hand, which is fantastic. So that way you can use the Giant Water Skin. This Super Rod gonna shuffle 3 waters back into his deck, and man, not getting this Vileplume is making Alex's game super difficult. So 3 Water G's coming down to the field, and man, it's, you kind of think like. You think like, you know, Greninja Break probably has this. I don't see how, you know, Alex can make a comeback. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen, guys. I mean, Juan, he's got these 3 Greninja breaks. Oh man, it's just not looking good for Alex right now. Okay, so he's gonna give it a little good shuffle with the Super Rod, and all he has to do for next turn is find some Water Energies, and he can knock out the Manaphy. He's gonna Moonlight Slash, put the Water Energy back into his hand. Okay. And then now if this Glaceon attacks, it's going to get popped for 60. Oh my goodness, guys. So let's see what does Juan do here. I mean, probably Moonlight Slash, return the Water G back into his hand. Another Froakie hit the field as well, just in case if Alex does play it in. And yeah, we're going to see a Moonlight Slash, pick up the Water G, return it back into his hand. It does no damage, but he can still put it back in his hand. Alright, so here we go, guys. So we gonna see Sycamore discard his hand. Oh, training well for Sycamore. Sorry, I thought he was playing it. Was reading the comments real quick, guys. Sorry, but like I said, if Alex attacks his Glaceon, he's gonna pop for 60. Then what Juan could do is Giant Water Skin the active, retreat, and Giant Water Shirt again to take a knockout on this Glaceon. So we see a Rainbow Energy going to that guy. We see a Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And can Alex finally find this Vileplume or not is what everybody's trying to wonder. Can we see a Vileplume come down? Oh man, guys. Let's see. So Trainer's going to look at top cards of his deck. And let's see, does he find a way to get out this guy? There's a force of giant plants coming down. Alex does not need that card. He already has one in play. He already put it down this turn. Alright, guys. There we go. We're going to see what does Alex do here. We'll see a damage coming down for the Rainbow Energy. And we see, I do not, okay, I see a Vileplume in Alex's hand. Now, if that's a Fishman like I think it is, Alex is going to be super in trouble. Juan already has 1 Water Energy, and all he needs to find is 2 more. Now, like, it is going to attack and take that 60 damage. And like I said, if Juan can find 1 more Water Energy, he can Giant Water Skin the active, retreat, and Giant Water Skin again to knock out that Glaceon. And he just top deck the 2nd Water Energy. Oh my goodness. So he can hit the active for 60. Retreat and do it again for 60. He can even send that fresh Greninja with no damage on and everything, and he can hit this Fishman. Be good to go, guys. So Giant Water Skin, he could maybe go on the Manaphy if he wants to, just knock it out. But I think I'd rather go for the Glaceon, the thing that is attacking you. I think is what you want to do here. But no, gonna knock out the Manaphy. Okay. With this, you probably grab the Fishman and the Water. Okay, so Fishman and probably the Water Energy just to guarantee the cards for sure. Okay, looks like he grabbed a Faded Town, just bumped that Forest of Giant Plants. All right, so what Juan can do is retreat into the other Greninja break with no damage and hit that Shaman for 60. Then Moonlight Slash to return that Water Energy, which is fantastic. That's the cool thing about this Moonlight Slash. You can still return the Water Energies, which is great. All right, so we'll see Giant Water can be active for 60, and then next turn all he has to do is find one more Water Energy to knock out this Glaceon, unless Alex decides Ninja Boy, but still that's not the greatest thing to do. Juan could maybe play Fishman right now just to put those Water Energies back into his hand, just in case Alex does in him. He hasn't played a supporter yet, and he actually is not going to use that Moonlight Slash. I think you would Moonlight Slash, return the Water Energy back into your hand, so that way you can use it again later on. Maybe Fishman, because all Juan needs right now is just one more water to knock out this Glaceon, okay? So see two cards on Ultra Ball, and let's see what does Alex decide to get out. Can Alex find a way to heal this Glaceon? If he does not, he is in trouble, guys. I do not know how he's going to win this game. And let's see, what does Alex have? Oh, man, what Alex could do is just mainly retreat this Glaceon to the other Glaceon and be good to go. We see a Ultra Ball get out the Vileplume. Like, he can retreat the Glaceon, send the other Glaceon. That way, he can maybe Ninja Boy the active and hit the Greninja for a 70, but we know Juan has that Fishman. Like, that's pretty much going to be game over. So a Force Giant Plants coming out, coming to Faded Town. We see a Rainbow going down to Glaceon. We see a Sycamore going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And I wonder how is Alex going to, what is he going to do now? Juan has 2 more cards left in his price. He has 2 price cards left. Like, that's all he has. Another Vileplume come down as well with the Ultra Ball. And let's see, what does Juan do here? Alright, so he's going to grab another Vileplume. And we're probably going to see some Water Strickens next turn, and Juan will win this game. Like, he's got a Fishman, get the 2 Water Gs back to his deck, and we're going to see another Crystal Ray for 70 damage on Juan's turn. He's going to draw a card. He's got the Giant Water Stricken the active, it take a knockout. Doesn't even use the Fishman. Guys, we're going to game number 2 of these Greninja versus Vileplume. Now, the biggest downside of this match is Alex did not find that Vileplume to turn 300 or something. So that's not what you want to see. You want to get this ASAP. You want to shut down Greninja that way. And we know Juan does play Wally. We did see that early. So maybe if Juan gets lucky, he could start Froakie, get the Wally to Frogadier, and do the turn 1 Water Duplicates. There's no Frogadier surprise. By turn 2, I'm pretty sure he had 3 Greninjas out, which is fantastic. If you love Greninja, that's what you want to see there. Now, if you're a fan of Vileplume, of course, we have Vileplume coming out ASAP, which we did not see that game, guys. So on to game number 2, which is going to win? Is it going to be this Greninja deck? And even though, Alex is playing, his Frogadiers and stuff, it's just not mattering, which is, I mean, he's not playing Greninja. He's playing the Vileplume, it's just not making any effect right now. And, guys, we're going to see what happens in game number 2. Let me fix this versus real quick. It's going to be 1 versus, okay. There we go. Update that right there, just in case people did join late. Juan Santiago he is up 1 game, guys. So let's go back to full screen and let's see what happens, guys. So let's look at the comments real quick and let's see yeah, so you probably should have scooped earlier. Now what could make, I don't know, we'll just see what happens. Both players are going to shuffle, get 7 new cards. They're going to take the time, make sure to get up. Yeah, take Plume off first, loan it. Where's Ninja Boy at? So DK 1 did win. Yeah, the blue dice from the early Glaceon was from a Rainbow Energy. That's why I had it on there. So both players are going to shuffle. We're going to game number 2. Once again, the big question, can Alex find this turn 1 Vileplume? If he does, Juan is going to be a tough situation, but he does play a lot of supporter cards. I'm not sure if he plays any other Pokemon besides these frogs. I didn't see no Remoraid's, I didn't see no Shamans, no Talonflames, nothing else really. And Alex does have the Oddish in his hand. Looks like he has no. Okay, so just a mulligan from 1. Now, we know Alex has more Pokemon, but he is going first. And best 2 out of 3, the loser gets decided they want to go first or second. And we know Alex wants to go first. He wants to get that turn on Vileplume and shut down Juan's item cards with the irritating pollen. Oh man, guys, I just love Vileplume so much. It's so good. It's been good forever. Vileplume Vanillix, Vileplume Gengar, Vileplume Machamp. Oh my goodness. So here we go, guys. Gonna set up one more time. Just live the good days. So here we go. Gets to Froakie. Has a no Wally right now that I can see. I see a dive ball. I see some water energies. There's a Manaphy start for Alex. And here we go, guys. In game number 2, we see a Transball from Alex. He's digging for a forest of giant plants. Most likely, he has a love ball. Looks like he's opts not to get anything. There's a Oddish coming down. Ultra ball. Going to discard 2 cards from his hand. Let's see what 2 cards he does discard. A Ninja Boy and a Lysander. This is going to find a Shaman. Put up to 6 cards in his hand. And can Alex find this forest of giant plants, Gloom, and Vileplume all the same turn? If he does, how does he deal with this? Now, Juan does have a dive ball. He could use that to find a Froakie next turn. But if Alex does get out this turn 1 Vileplume, it's going to be interesting how this matchup goes. Now, we know that Greninja still, like last 2 weeks ago in Arizona, Greninja still did take down a Trevenant deck, which had the turn 1 item lock almost automatically. So, it's going to be, see if we can do that in standard or not. So, we see Shaman sit up for 6 new cards. Does he find a Force of Giant Plants? We see a Love Ball and Ultra Ball. We see an In, so there's Ultra Ball. He has a Gloom already in his hand, but he's going to discard a Gloom. I don't know if he plays Revitalizer. I did not see one last game, but he already has an Oddish. He already has a Love Ball in his hand. He's got a Sycamore, so Ultra Ball discarding an Oddish or Gloom and an In. He can maybe get Glaceon. He can maybe go for another Shaman. He's already attached per turn, so he can't attach again. You might want to save the Glaceon in your deck for a Ninja Boy, but looks like he is eyeballing that Glaceon. All right, it looks like he's actually not going to get. Oh, no, he did grab a Glaceon. Okay, so grab a Glaceon. Put that on the field. And he does have a Sycamore in his hand. He might play that, discard his hand, draw 70 cards. He has a Love Ball as well. Love Ball, going to thin his deck out. Probably getting another Oddish just so you don't draw into a Jirachi. All right, but he's probably just going to discard the Jirachi. You really don't want to draw into that. Alex wants to try to get this turn 1 Vileplume off. And let's see what's going to happen here, guys. He's got the Juniper. Okay. I mean, Sycamore, sorry. You know, Juniper, Sycamore, whatever, same thing. So, both players, he's going to get 7 new cards. And can he find this Forest of Giant Plants? And there's a Trainer's one. Look at top 4. There's a Forest of Giant Plants. I see it. Okay, he's going to grab an Ultra Ball. Okay. He's got a Lugia. He already has Forest in his hand, so that's why he opted not to get the other one. So, Ultra Ball discarding a Lugia and a Jolteon. Going to get a Vileplume. So, it looks like he has it. Like, he's got, I see the Forest in his hand. He just Ultra Ball for Vileplume. He's not even Ultra Ball for the Gloom, which means he probably has it. Like, you have to suspect he does, right? Unless he has another Love Ball, maybe a Revitalizer. And let's see, what does Alex get here, guys? He's got the Forest, he's got the Gloom, he's got the turn 1 Vileplume. And here we go, guys. Now it's time to see, can Juan deal with the turn 1 Vileplume or not? We see a pass on to Juan's turn. And guys, it's time to see, can Juan withstand this Vileplume or not? So Waterjig going to the active, and Juan could go for this bubble. We see a Shaman Lab going to shut down that free treat from the Glaceon. And we'll see Sycamore discard his hand, draw. Oh, he has a, oh man, go for the bubble. Here we go, guys. Going to use the bubble. Is it heads? Is it tails? And it's going to be heads. That Manaphy is paralyzed, and that Manaphy will not be able to trade. Even if he Ninja Boy, your status conditions will stay on the field as well. So Waterjig going down to Greninja. We'll see a pass on to Juan's turn. He has a Frogadier in his hand. Now he'll use the Water Duplicates, but how many Greninjas are in this deck? All right, guys, and you know, next turn that Glaceon will take a knockout as long as Juan has. As long as Alex has a DCE, he can take a knockout on this Greninja. And oh my goodness, Juan once again has all of his Frogadiers in the deck, which is amazing. Now, if Alex takes knockout on that Frogadier, it will not return it back to his hand because he does not have the splash energy right now. So the question is, does Alex have a DC in his hand or not? So let's see. On to Alex's turn. What does he have? Going to draw a card. He has a, oh, I do not see. I see a Rainbow, Mew, and a Regice. That's not what you want to see. He can at least attach Rainbow Energy to that Glaceon. I'm going to attach it to the Manaphy and do 60. Alright, guys, here we go. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so on Alex's turn, or on Juan's turn, he's got the Water Energy. He can put on the Frogadier. He can Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And can he find some Greninjas or not? See, oh, there is a Greninja, a Burst Balloon, and then he cannot play those cards. There's a Greninja Break. So if I'm Juan, what I might do is evolve, man, I might evolve the bench Frogadier into Greninja, because if Alex decides to attack with his Glaceon, it's going to knock out the Greninja regardless, because 70 plus 60 is 130, and that's how much HP this Greninja has. And he could attach it to the active, evolve the active, but you really want a fresh Greninja when this comes out. And it looks like he is going to evolve the active. Now, he could Shadow Stitching, maybe. No, we're going to see it retreat into the Greninja. And say, here you go, try to knock out this guy. He's got a Greninja break for the next turn, so pass on Alex's turn. Alright, so we see Alex does get a Shaman. Is that a Shaman? I see a Regice. I see a Mew. Yeah, there's Mew going to set up for up to 6 new cards. Does he find a DC or not? Oh, Sound Lab is out, so Alex cannot use that Shaman at all. Oh my goodness, I forgot about Sound Lab, but yeah, Alex benches that Shaman. He has a Sound Lab out, and he can't do anything now. Oh man, that Sound Lab has came out of nowhere, going to make it worse. Alex cannot use that Shaman. I forgot about that. I didn't even notice as well. Oh my goodness, guys. And we're going to see what's going to happen. It should be too big of a deal. Like, Alex just saw, like, the top couple. It's easy. It's a fixable game state. But Alex played down his hand, and we're going to see 60 damage being done to that Frogadier. And on to Juan's turn. He's got the Greninja break. He's got a Sycamore. He's got a Splash Energy, so he can put that Greninja break down. He can Splash Energy onto the bench. Yep, splashing to the bench, he can play the Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards, and try to find some more Greninjas. Here we go, Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. There's a Splash Energy, there's another Water Energy, 6, 7. There's an Ace Trainer, which is not useful, but he can retreat into the Greninja break, do Giant Water Skin onto that Shaman, and hit the active for 80. Oh my goodness, guys. So let's see a retreat from that Frogadier, going to send that Greninja. He's probably going to Giant Water Scan a Shaman. He's going to Giant Water Scan probably the Shaman. Then Moonlight Slash, hit it for 80, and then next turn he can knock out this Manaphy and knock out the Shaman. Oh my goodness! So yeah, the Giant Moonlight Slash not take a knockout, doing 80 damage. All right, so on to Alex's turn. It's not looking good for him. What is he top deck? And it's going to be nothing. We see another 60, and it does heal that damage off the Shaman. So he see go down to 30. We see a Water Energy, so he can Giant Water Skin the Shaman for 60. Oh man, but if Alex finds a DCE next turn, he can knock out this Greninja, and if Alex finds a DCE, he can knock out this Greninja with the Glaceon. So we see one taking a knock on the active, forcing Alex to maybe send that Glaceon, and like if Alex sends with the Glaceon, one can use a Moonlight Slash for 80 damage and start doing heavy damage to that Glaceon. And if that Greninja gets knocked out, well, it gets returned back into his hand thanks to that Splash Energy. So let's see, what does Alex decide to do here? Who does he send up? And whoever sends up, it's going to be stuck in the active spot. So here comes Shaman. So what Juan could do is he can just Moonlight Slash for the knockout, or maybe just do 60 damage. Like, there's really no need to take the knockout right now. You just take your time. There we see Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. He found a Sycamore off those 2 prize cards. Oh my goodness, he is having everything. There's a Froakie, a Wally. He can Wally into a Greninja next turn. There's a Fishman, and things are looking terrible for Alex Hill. Now, like I said, what Juan can do is just hit the active for 60, not taking a knockout, and make it where Alex cannot retreat next turn. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So let's see what's going to happen. This is crazy. Like, Alex got the turn with Vileplume, but his hand is just dead. That Sound Lab hurt Alex so bad. And we're going to see 6 damage being done to that Shaman. Oh my goodness. Should have a little bit more. Okay, I don't know. Oh, maybe I don't know. Alright, but on to Juan's turn. He can Giant Water Skin the active, take a knockout, and go down 2 prize cards. Here comes Glaceon. What Juan could do is Wally into a Greninja, which is fantastic. He can retreat into the fresh Greninja, hit a Moonlight Slash for 80, and pretty much win the game next turn. So Wally gonna get a Greninja out. Oh my goodness, probably retreat to the Greninja, attach to Water G, Moonlight Slash for 80. The next turn he can Giant Water Skin and hit the active for 80 for the knockout. So we retreat into the Greninja. Let's see, does he have a Water G for attachment for his turn? And he does. So Water G attachment for his turn, and then Giant Water Skin for 80 damage. Alright, not Giant Water Skin, a Moonlight Slash for 80. On Alex's turn, he's going to draw a card, DCE, and there we go. So he does finally do the Crystal Ray for 70 damage. So there we go, 70 damage coming out. But is it too late? That's what I'm thinking right now. What Juan could do is he can just retreat, Giant Water Skin for 60, and not do anything else really. Now, if Juan wanted to, he could. No, he doesn't have any more cards. It doesn't look like he has anything he can really do. So Juan could maybe retreat, Giant Water Skin the active, put up to 140, and once that Greninja break gets knocked out, the Splash Energy gets returned back to stand, and then Juan can just win the following turn. And let's see, what will he do here? I imagine that's what we'll see. So retreat into the Greninja break, Giant Water Skin the active for 60. There we go, 6 damage going to the active. And what can Alex really do here? So Water G to the active, and maybe we'll see a Moonlight Slash, just return it back his hand. We see Fisherman. I think if you Fishman right now, just put the energies back to his hand, so if Alex does in you, you have a bigger probability of drawing into them, which is fantastic. And yeah, we're going to see Fishman return 4 Water G's into his hand. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 Water G's are coming to stand. So if Alex does top deck in, Juan has a better chance of drawing into that giant Water Skin. So Seamless Slash, not going to do any damage. What does Alex top deck here? And he finds a Magarna, Regice, and an in. So Alex is going to end Greninja down to 2 cards. But when Alex takes knockout, that Greninja break and everything is going to return back into his hand, thanks because of that splash energy. So let's see what happens, guys. Alex is going to get 6. Juan's going to get 2. And can Juan find a Water G or not? He used the Fishman, which I think was a fantastic play. You want to have the better option to draw into the Water G, which is why he did that. So let's see what happens here, guys. Can Juan find a Water G, or will Alex make the crazy comebacks with 2 cards? There's 1 and there's 2. Juan has the Water G, and he'll win this game next turn. Giant Water Skin the active and take the game. And Juan Santiago will go 2-0 against Alex Hill with his Greninja break versus Vileplume. Vileplume had the turn 1 lock. It was ready to go. But, man, that is crazy, guys. We're going to see Alex Hill. Oh, man, I want to... Oh, man, this is crazy. This is a crazy game. All right, so we'll see a knockout. The whole Pokemon line gets returned back to stand. That Splash Energy does get discarded. Sends up the Greninja. He's going to attach the Greninja break. He even kind of in just in case. But there's the Greninja break. There's a Water G. Giant Water Skin. And Juan Santiago will take this game going 2-0, guys, against Alex Hill, Vileplume box deck. Now, unfortunately, Alex did have that, man, that Salam just shut down Alex so much, guys. But there's round number 1 of the top 32. There's 5 rounds today. We're going to see what's going to happen, who is going to come out of victory and win $5. I think Alex just circled victory. Alex, you're not the victory. Oh, man. Alex so used to sign a victory, but not today, Alex, unfortunately. All right, guys, but hopefully you enjoy this round. We'll see you round number 2 of the day 2, guys. I'm excited, and oh, my goodness, guys. All right, so we'll see what happens in the next game. Alright, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.